Greetings from Sweden!
Varma sommarhälsningar från Sverige. We are outside a town called Jönköping, and behind us here is the lake of Vättern, which is located near a beautiful little town called Gränna.
This area of Sweden has a rich history of fairy tales and folklore, and we can't wait to show you all the charming places that we explored on this visit.
So let's come along with us. Today we are in Jönköping, and right now we are at Jönköping's County Museum, and we're gonna follow in John Bauer's footstep, a really great artist that was actually the artist that inspired me to start my artistic journey. So let's follow in his footsteps. To follow the footsteps of John Bauer, we must begin in Jönköping, where he was born in 1882. John Bauer was most known for his troll illustrations in the Swedish fairytale collection of stories called Bland tomtar och troll. Translated to English, it means Among Gnomes and Trolls. That was first released in 1907, where Bauer's illustration of trolls influenced how we see them today. Bauer's name became synonymous with these Scandinavian stone giants. Perhaps the artist knew this when he said, "Sometimes I'm John Bauer, sometimes I'm a troll." On his mother tongue it would be "Ömsom är jag John Bauer, ömsom är jag troll." John Bauer was a great lover of nature and spent a lot of his time wandering around in the woods. He even spent time in Lapland, where he got so much inspiration and respect for nature, which you can hear in this quote with the message of feeling so small in nature. He said, "Jag kände mig stå ansikte mot ansikte med naturen. Jag har aldrig känt mig så liten." John's true muse was his wife Esther, whom modeled for many of his paintings, depicting princesses and even the Norse goddess Frey. Also his son Putte can be recognized in many characters that despite the human form could have close encounters with the trolls, who at the first glance could appear scary, but with a core of kindness, exactly how Bauer intended them to be. John's life would take a tragic turn when he and his beloved wife and child perished on the steamship Per Brahe, a stormy evening in 1918. He was only 36 years old. When we visit his museum, we can feel his creativity under every one of his brush strokes. It makes me feel convinced that imagination can never die. In this way, we can continue to follow his footsteps with every generation of fairytale lovers.
So Jonas, how do you feel after seeing John Bauer's artwork in person again?
It feels great. It's always a treat to kind of revisit the beginning of your art journey, and I feel like super inspired, and that I kind of have I feel a calling to the deep woods where the troll lives, and I just must go there.
So Jonas, where are we headed next on our journey to follow John Bauer's footsteps?
We're going to go to a nearby town called Gränna, and that's another quaint and super charming town. Very exciting history, and we'll take you with us. Onwards on our journey, we got a ferry to catch. A quick drive through Gränna, which we will spend more time later on. But for now we are on our way to the island of Visingsö, located in the second largest lake in Sweden, which is a stone throw away. Well, if you are a troll, of course. Because, according to legend, a giant named Vist created Visingsö Island when he threw a tuft of grass into the lake of Vättern, so that his wife would have something to step onto. As we cross the waters, we are still following John Bauer's footstep, as this is the same waters that turned out to be his last journey. In a sunny haze, this mystical island grows bigger and bigger, and we are continuing to the next chapter of our Swedish fairy tale adventure. As we step onto this magical island, we truly feel that we have crossed from modern day into a Swedish summer saga, where we are the prince and princess of the story. We have just woken up in a charming little cottage that feels like it's from the pages of a Swedish storybook. Why don't you come inside for a little tour?
Aren't you cozy there?
Välkommen till stugan.
Yeah. It's so cute.
After a cozy breakfast in the cottage, we are excited for a day of exploring this enchanting island. We will begin in the traditional Swedish way, with fika. We are going to Visingsö trädgård, a beautiful little garden cafe surrounded by a multitude of colorful flowers of all sorts. It's a warm day, so we order ice-cold lemonade of rhubarb and black currant.
Pretty. Skål.
Topped off with a delightful lime cheesecake, along with some other lovely treats. When the final drops of the refreshing elixir are consumed, and the baked treats eaten to its last crumbs, we are ready to have a taste of this island's ancient history. Behold Visingsö castle ruin, dated from 1560s, and later lived in by the Brahe family during the 16th and 17th century. During their time it was one of the most impressive buildings in Sweden. What we see today is only a small portion of the once great stronghold it used to be. Spending time in history makes you hungry. We feel as we haven't eaten for 100 years, so it is time for dinner with an epic view of the castle and the relaxing water of Vättern. Pizza seems as an appropriate way to glue all the experience together and sit down for a spell, just enjoying our time as lazy summer evenings allows. The sun is setting over the tiny little fairytale cottage. It is our last night and we feel filled with gratitude and contentment as we let the steam from the warm evening drinks write its last sentence in the air. And with that, we say good night. As we say hey do and goodbye to the cottage, we are leaving to visit one of this island's most enchanted places, Ekskogen, which means the oak forest, home for about 300,000 old oak trees. They were planted over 200 years ago with the intention to be used building naval ships, that however never came to be. As they grow older, the more common material was no longer wood, which is in a way a blessing in disguise, as we can enjoy them today. We feel as surrounded by fairies walking under their canopy of shade, with sunbeams reaching through the gaps, casting reflections of a time long gone by. We are sad to leave this beautiful island, but we are heading towards mainland and the town of Gränna, which carries a very special place in our hearts. Greetings from Gränna.
We are in a very charming little village in Sweden today. And what is this little town known for, Jonas?
Specifically, you think of candy.
What kind of candy?
It's a little candy that is called polka grisar.
What does that mean?
It translates polka pig.
Pig?
But it's not pig you eat. It's similar to candy canes. And it's very specific for this little town.
So come along with us and we are going to take you along and tell you all about it.
The city was founded as early as 1652 by Count Per Brahe the Younger. Today the main street of Gränna is lined with polka gris cookeries, where you can see for yourself how they make these striped delights. Gränna is truly the Candyland Village of Sweden. We can thank Amalia Eriksson for bringing the colorful old-fashioned candy to life. In the late 1850s, she received permission to start a bakery in Gränna to support herself as a widow and her daughter by making polka grisar. The name of the little peppermint rock is said to have come from the polka dance that was very popular in the 1840s. It has become traditional candy that most Swedes know by heart, and the multitude of flavors makes it easy to love, finding your own favorite.
It's troll goodies, right?
After paying the troll toll with an interesting flavor called trollgodis, it is time to feed ourselves as we are enjoying a lunch in a calm courtyard. The candy canes aren't the only thing that makes Gränna feel like a place in the North Pole. Because on this sweltering day we are drawn inside the Gränna Museum, where we are frozen in awe as we learn about the Andrés Polar Expedition of 1897. Local-born Salomon August André, together with his team of two other Swedes, Knut and Nils, took an Arctic adventure in a hot air balloon called the Eagle, in an effort to be the first to reach the North Pole. Unfortunately, they all perished, but we leave the exhibit with a chilling respect for their dreams and hope to map out the undiscovered parts of the North Pole, which was miraculously preserved for many years, buried deep under the ice. We feel it's time to once again let the steam of hot drinks and baked treats write its last sentence. A sentence that Gränna and its surroundings are a real-life fairy tale well worth a visit. The cherry on top of a charming trip is that we could share it with you. From our Swedish adventure with love, hej då and bye for now.